mismatch. I don't think Bengi plays Kindred, and Peanut, obviously, that's been one of his principal picks. They're actually going to ban Nidalee.
Ah, okay.
So we could see a big squeeze on the jungle picks here, but Tom Kench removed, one of Duke's go-tos this season, and Rise, just don't even give that to Faker.
I mean, isn't it a little bit dangerous for SKT to ban away Nidalee? Because now ROX Tigers can just like ban Rek'Sai or Elise and then take the other, and then where does that leave Bengi, right?
Sure. Well, he can play Lee Sin, right? We know he's a Lee Sin player.
I suppose. Well, everyone in Korea can play Lee Sin. That's a given.
It is a given. And Corki taken away too. SK Telecom has been playing quite well with Faker on the mid Corki. And even though the ROX Tigers have they prefer to play Corki at the AD carry position with Varus mid, they don't want to first pick it. So they could just take the Rek'Sai here. One would assume that that is going to be the first pick. Victor, but the Lulu's up, and that means Lulu will be taken. Victor has been Kuro's best champion for a long time.
Yeah. So Lulu does get picked up over to SK Telecom. They could grab that Poppy right away. Now, if that Lulu ends up going mid lane for the ROX Tigers, I wonder if, SKT is feeling they might need to worry about a Fiora pick. Smeb is so good on that champion, as we've seen many times. There's the Elise grab for Bengi. I think it's smart to grab either Elise or Rek'Sai now, just to make sure.
I'm a bit surprised about a couple things. First off, they didn't ban Quinn against the Tigers, which has been something that people have been super concerned about, because Smeb is a very good Quinn player. And he's extremely talented when it comes to split pushing and putting map pressure down with that champion. And it really does lend itself to the Tigers' play style, where they just move so fast on the map in order to cut you off and to take these skirmishes.
Wow, that is a very tanky jungle and top duo that SK Telecom has right now. Trundle Poppy. And they're going to grab the Ezreal for Bang, probably.
Okay, so playing very passive here.
Yeah.
It could be Faker on Ezreal too, we don't know. That actually is one of his most played champions from last year, and you can play blue build Ezreal in the mid lane.
I suppose.
So it's definitely not out of the question.
Tristana up too. They have ways to flex this if they want to. Lucian still available. And what will the ROX Tigers go with for their last two picks here?
You can't blind pick TF, unfortunately, for the Tigers, because you can probably assume that Faker will place that into you, and then you will die. So
Quinn Rek'Sai, maybe?
Quinn Rek'Sai, I think,
there
is
we go.
Probably likely.
All right.
Because they know that Poppy is going into the top lane at this stage.
That's right. And Lissandra, yeah, wow. Falling all the way down to the end of the pick ban. We didn't even talk about that yet.
Yeah, something we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
It did fall down in priority for SKT once Marin left the team, because both Faker and Marin were extremely good at Lissandra. Well, it's not as threatening from Duke, so having that Lissandra as a priority hasn't been quite so far up there for them, but
you'd have to imagine this will be a mid lane Lissandra then.
Yes, almost certainly.
Yep.
Taking it to a pretty passive farm lane. Could be dangerous though. Lissandra ult targets aren't great here.
Yeah.
Because you have the wild growth, and you have the Alistar who's able to break out of that ultimate. But
they're going with it.
Yeah, they're going to go with it. This is a kind of a weird composition from SKT.
I mean, SK Telecom, so far, they've been able to generally kind of pick whatever they want, and then even though the first half of the game may not go that well, I mean, they do have an average negative 562 gold deficit at 15 minutes for their games this season. But despite that, they have generally found ways to make really good plays in the end of the mid game, the beginning of the early game, and come back.
Yeah, and that's true, and they play around Bang. Again here, look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to create zones. Faker can ult himself. You'll have the Trundle pillar, you'll have Poppy just ejecting somebody from a team fight, and that means a lot of room for Bang to maneuver on this Ezreal. And good Ezreal players can do an insane amount with a blue belt. I mean, we've all seen Prey play it and do more damage than I thought Ezreal could possibly do.
Yes.
So you get into the late game with the Muramana and all loaded up with items. You can create these huge zones with this team composition, and it's basically just a playground for the Ezreal. And it's, again, a comp built around Bang.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm excited about this one, man. I mean, this, again, it's a Season 5 Grand Finals rematch, and it's definitely the best two teams we have in Champions right now, and the ROX Tigers actually look a little bit better here.
Yeah, meanwhile we have Kuro taking Cleanse in this game to avoid getting ulted, it would appear, but teleport for Faker.
Okay.
So 1-3-1 split, going to be strong too for SKT.
That's right. Tigers versus SK Telecom, game number 1. Let's do it.
Mother Nature, everybody wants to the world.
All right. Welcome to the main event and Summoner's Rift. ROX Tigers versus SK Telecom.
Crowd is amped here.
They are. I'm amped too, man. This is a matchup I've been looking forward to since the season began. No, since the end of Season 5 World Championships. Faker on this Lissandra. We'll see what he's able to do. Playing it a little bit risky. Going with the teleport.
Yeah, we'll see what, Faker's always been a great Lissandra player.
Oh, yeah.
You can split push very effectively if you get ahead on Lissandra. In fact, probably the player who I think does the most effective Lissandra split pushing is actually Bjergsen. Just historically can really carry games by split pushing on that particular champion. And he'll have an opportunity to do so here, but somebody's got to control Smeb. Smeb is going to be an absolute monster again in the late game.
So what you're saying, Monty, is that objectively Bjergsen is better than Faker?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I thought. We got that on tape now. Okay, good.
So, looks like we might have a lane swap coming through. Not really surprising. Trying to lane Ezreal Trundle against Callista Alistar is not fun. We actually did see that matchup in our last game, and Nuclear had a lot of issues.
Yeah, it went pretty well for Songyun.
Yeah, they got a pretty big CS lead. So, meanwhile, this is some mega harassment coming through.
No kidding. Well, Bang coming through. They're going to try to finish Peanut off. Well, that Q didn't connect. Hit Smeb instead, but I wonder if we were going to see some early cheese, but no, just close to cheese, I guess you could say.
Yeah, not going for their own jungle camp instead, just trying to stall Peanut out right here. And Wolf is going to be very obnoxious and take these little small sentinels here just to deny the XP and make the leveling slower right now.
I liked hearing you try to figure out what they were called.
Little sentinels?
Little.
Is that what they are? I don't know what they're called.
I have no idea, man.
What the hell do you even call that thing?
Little rock dudes.
Is it a dude?
It is to me. Pretty much everything is.
Maybe it's female. You don't know that.
I don't know. Dude has kind of become like a generic term. Like when you say you guys, you don't mean you males. You mean you human beings, you people.
I don't know if dude has really gotten to that point yet, Doa.
Well, see, in the 90s they tried to make dudette work, but I think dude's just kind of it can be like what gender neutral. That's the term I was looking for. I don't know what happened to my brain right there, but yeah.
All right, so early harassment means that Bengi now getting into the enemy jungle. We rarely see the punishment for the weak side jungle starts anymore, but look at what it's done. It's actually caused Peanut to be delayed and quite hurt, just picking up his red buff now. And we also saw the jungle from the weak side starting for SKT, so they swept through their own jungle. There's really nothing for Peanut to do now. So they're putting the pressure on Peanut early in this lane swap.
Yeah, it's a little bit too low to go and help out with that tower push. Looks like he's going to try it anyway. But it's certainly going to take the Tigers a lot longer to kill that turret.
Yeah, they're still going to get it
Maybe.
though. Duke here just denying what he can. Perhaps he's solo gold. And
never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cliff saying Quinn will be friends and share.
How nice.
Peanut now back into his blue side jungle, but there are wards down. They are going to spot him out instantly.
Yep,
and there's nothing to take. I don't even know why he would be going up there right now. He's question marking his blue buff. Really? You didn't think that would be gone, Peanut?
Why didn't they leave me the blue buff? He was specifically wondering about the little blue dudes.
It's like, what happened to the dudes?
Where are my dudes? Dudes, where's my dudes? I think being Peanut, he wants to try to gank somebody somewhere. Maybe they're going to try something up in top lane. Bengi is...
Well, I found Bengi, but he's
Krugs,
a level up and has both buffs.
Yep.
Gorilla now rejoining on this swap just to keep pushing forward, but it's been very good early pathing from Bengi. And that's what we expect out of Bengi. He's so smart when it comes to pathing and getting advantages through the trips he takes through the jungle, as well as getting wards in the proper locations. And he saw everything right there.
True.
And he took advantage of the fact that Wolf and Bang traded very effectively early in this game.
I mean, this is a pretty typical SKT, right? I mean, one thing they love to do is pick on the new jungler, you know, pick on the inexperienced player. And Peanut is a prime target for a team like this.
Yeah, especially when you get into these situations where it's really hard without experience to know the right decision to make.
Yeah.
You're harassed early. He's still holding it together, though. He is catching up. Managed to catch up in levels right now, but he's also being seen consistently as he moves through the jungle just due to the early wards. And we talked coming into this game, Tigers bottom of the league and wards per minute and wards cleared per minute, and Peanut bottom of the jungle position in the wards per minute category. So he really doesn't get the same level of vision that Bengi does. For every one ward that Peanut puts down, Bengi puts down more than 2.
It really is amazing. That is such a crazy stat because, and it really does, I feel like, shed a little bit of a light on how the ROX Tigers love to play the game right now, which is where they just play it really aggressively. They just get a ton of kills and kind of snowball a lead out of that. And when you're doing that, you know, not only are you not going to be putting down a lot of wards yourself, but there's not going to be as many wards from your opponents to clear anyway.
Yeah, and Peanut is the fighting ward. He is a combat ward.
The fighting ward, I like it. Battle ward. Can we call him the battle ward?
We can.
All right. Peanut.
We can call him whatever we want.
AKA the battle ward.
We can call him Cashew if we want.
The Cashew. I don't know, it's just a totally different nut, man. I don't know if that works. If he fails his flash sometime, I'm going to call him the walnut. But until then, he can be Peanut. It's okay. The battle ward.
Well, tier start, of course, for Bang. Wolf here. He's getting some more wards in as we see Bang pushing up, and everybody's seemingly just happy to keep on farming right now. Quinn has managed to 1v1 push Duke all the way back, and we didn't see that typical tower trade that we usually get in the lane swap where two towers rather go down early.
Yeah.
Instead, they are just trying to concentrate farm onto Quinn and put Quinn into the 1v1. I mean, the Tigers really want the 1v1 and the 2v2, so they're going to do what they can to get it.
Attempted blue buff steal here coming in for the ROX Tigers, and Bengi's going to see it, but see it a little bit too late. Even the last blue dude didn't survive. Baker trying to do a bit of damage to Curl on his way out. I guess he will.
Yeah, denying the blue buff from Faker. That's always going to be nice. Peanut gets that.
Yep.
And
denies the Rift Scuttler too.
We talked about the warding stats, but the buff steal stats, for every one buff that Bengi takes out of the enemy jungle, Peanut takes more than 2. So it's definitely very good, Peanut, at counter jungling buffs.
Yep. Gorilla getting poked pretty heavily by Bang. And again, I mean, the biggest stat of all of this, the one you just can't deny, is just the enormous average gold lead at 15 minutes that the ROX Tigers have. It blew my mind when I saw that stat.
Yeah, it's actually comparable to SK Telecom's stats for the World Championships for their average gold lead at 15 minutes, you know, being in the several thousand range.
Yeah, 2,700 gold up average. And I know we haven't had a ton of games yet this season, but still, that's a lot. Especially when you've had a series against KT Rolster.
And Longzhu.
Yeah, and you lost the game against KT Rolster.
They've certainly been impressive.
Yep.
And they're actually behind now, but they have a lot of opportunities to turn this around. But I don't know how many opportunities SKT is going to give them. Ooh, Bang is going for the pickaxe. Maybe he didn't have enough money for Sheen, but I really think that tier into Iceborne is the best build, because otherwise I think it's just too easy to punish you early and to fight in Ezreal's massive early game power drop. Uh-oh.
Wow, Smeb with some damage onto Wolf. Wolf managing to make an exit via that Trundle Pillar. It feels like maybe one of the priorities for SKT this game is Bang doing consistent damage throughout, and maybe your damage is going to be less spiky, but a little bit higher overall with the pickaxe.
No,
you think so?
I think
no?
he just didn't have the money, or
okay.
he's doing a bad build. Pick one.
No money.
Meanwhile, Peanut here actually has not been recalling very frequently. He hasn't even upgraded his machete yet, and that's actually a problem because Bengi has had 2 recalls ever since then, and he picked up the tracking knife and the ruby crystal, and then this is a 3rd recall in the time that Peanut hasn't recalled at all. And certainly he has a lot of sustain in the jungle on Rex side, but by just building his machete straight into a Cinder Hulk tracker's knife, he has actually lost out on a lot of potential wards that he could have been putting down. That's actually a big concern, and probably part of the reason why Peanut has such a low wards per minute is that he tends to try and farm very heavily, and he may have felt, particularly in this game, that he was behind Bengi early due to the harassment he received in the early game in the lane swap, but that's a lot of vision that just was not utilized due to a lack of recall.
Well, supposedly they don't need it, but I think against a team like SKT and everything you get, Kuro gets ulted, and Faker, a ton of damage right there.
But he just cleanses it, and that's the advantage too, is that you can't really ult this Lulu, and you can't really ult anybody else either, because Kuro will be there with the wild growth. And he doesn't have to flash, he doesn't have to use his own ults, so Faker is frustrated. Oh, wow, that is bold.
Yeah, teleport coming down. Duke wants to come from behind with this Poppy. He's going to find Prey. There's a TP coming in with the ROX Tigers. It's going to turn Duke around, but he's kind of trapped right now between Kuro and the rest of the Tigers. SK Telecom, though, pulling the Dragon out of the pit. They're going to try to do it there. Duke finds a place to recall, and it looks like this first Dragon, unless it gets stolen, is going over to SKT. He's going to try it. Peanut doesn't steal the Dragon. Can he get out? He's got his flash, and he'll just cruise to safety. He doesn't even need to use that summoner spell.
That was actually a really good call. So they knew Faker's ultimate was down, and Bang's ultimate was down, and there isn't any damage on this Ezreal. So why not just go ahead? You can see he just tanked it, even with just the Cinder Hulk. There wasn't enough damage to kill him, so why not try for the steal? And he just waits around for the tunnel cooldown to be back up. Meanwhile, Smeb was thinking about going into that fight, but canceled his TP, actually, in order to split push. But Duke is going to get back in plenty of time, even with no TP to pick up the wave.
You gotta wonder if he hadn't canceled that teleport, if he and Kuro would have been able to catch Duke between them.
Yeah.
Duke was in a really awkward spot at the start of that.
I think they just wanted to farm him up a little bit more. It will end up being about even in terms of CS compared to Duke. And it was a good call from SKT. They pushed out the top lane all the way to tier 2, had Duke teleport immediately, because the best case scenario, they get a kill right there, and kind of worst case scenario is they just transition immediately into Dragon like we saw.
True.
I mean, assuming that a team fight doesn't go horribly wrong for them, but I mean, it's Lulu early on, and it was a Quinn with really no items, so.
Well, Faker managing to keep a bit of a CS lead over Kuro in this lane at the moment. And ROX Tigers, they want to steal that blue buff again. They got the last one, but can they get number 2?
Yeah, Smeb here really just doing his utmost to try and get this Youmuu's Ghost Blade in addition to his Boots of Swiftness. And this is really what's going to open up the map, because when Quinn has TP, we've seen Trace play top lane Quinn with Ignite, and it's actually very effective because she might as well have a TP due to how fast she can move on the map during her ult.
Yeah.
So you basically have 2 TPs with Smeb's Quinn, and that means that you can really punish SK Telecom. And a thing that I find interesting is that this is probably the last champion, if you were SKT, that you would want Smeb on, because he responds to his teammates' needs on the map so much better than Duke does. Duke notably being a little bit slow on the TP at times, not having the best map awareness, but Smeb has excellent map awareness, and to give him 2 times the shots to get there before Duke may be unwise.
True. Action down in bot lane, they nearly took out Prey, but they got away without having to use any of those summoner spells. Peanut in the bottom jungle just in case.
Yeah, you can see Peanut actually zooming down there because they were afraid that Faker might teleport for a dive.
Right.
So really needing to get down there quickly. And Smeb too, he's also joining up in this bottom side. And
Bengi is there.
yeah, This is where they may start making some plays. You can see Faker is cheating down to the bottom side.
Yep, that's right. That's going to draw Kuro down too. There's the fight, the engage from Gorilla. Bang in a bit of trouble, gets away with the arcane shift. There's the exhaust onto Smeb. Smeb has to back away. Nice double knock-up onto Bengi and Wolf. Faker coming from behind. Can he get a big ult? He's going to try. Bengi very low. Now Faker on the run, and First Blood goes over to Prey. Faker having to use his flash, but he's going to get caught anyway, and that's another kill coming in for the Ku Tigers, or ROX Tigers rather. And that's a good start.
Yep, and they made plays around Duke's teleport. There was no help right there. And they were able just to get down there fast enough. Faker trying to make the play, does get the ult up, but it's just not enough damage. He built Frost Queen's claim, and now he's building into Rod of Ages, so looking for some scaling and not going to find it. Just too much damage early on, especially from this Quinn that had just picked up Ghostblade and then zipped into the bottom side. They don't even get a tier 2 turret for it in the end as Duke has to back off.
That does give the ROX Tigers about 1,000 gold lead at 15 minutes when we hit that. So a little bit less than the average, but still 1,000 gold ahead at 15. It's not bad. And SKT, you know, we've seen them in these situations and they just kind of back off, play safe, wait for opportunities to come back. But you got to wonder if the ROX Tigers are going to give them the opportunities that other teams have been giving them this season.
Yeah, and the Tigers are super good at pushing advantages. And they have that smaller gold lead this time around at this stage of the game, only about 1,000 here at 15 minutes. So they're dragging their average down, Doa.
Yep, they are. But at least it's still positive.
Yeah, be the one to take the Herald buff. It's pretty much every jungler will do that these days. Just getting your jungler the movement speed buff seems more valuable than the crap buff that it gives your lane minions.
Not working as intended. Not exactly. I need to revisit that one.
Are you doing some Quinn roleplay?
That's right.
I'm glad you don't voice Quinn. They want to dive Smeb here.
Yeah.
It's a good zone that they set up. They got the vision in, made it very unattractive to defend the turret. So they do take a turret lead.
Yeah, that's the type of moves that SKT can do that really sets them above a lot of, you know, nearly all the other teams in the league. Is just not going for the fight, not overextending, just zoning enough to take that objective.
Yeah, now they're going to try and do the same thing.
Oh, it's dive time. Duke could be in trouble. He's going to go ahead and use that ultimate, but he's locked up. Here comes the teleport. Faker trying to join the party. Peanut trapping against the wall. There's Faker. Big ult on the Peanut. Smeb is there doing the damage, though. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a big fight for the Ku Tigers, but here comes Wolf. Wolf and Bang joining Bengi right here. Can they turn it around? True shot barrage catches Prey. That's a kill for SK Telecom, their first of the game, and the chase is on. Can they catch him? Doesn't look like it. Everybody else just a bit too fast. He's not enjoying himself, though.
He always looks like he's having so much fun. Nice dive there. Did actually get the wild growth in order to stay alive while he was tanking that turret, but the poly on Faker coming in.
Yeah.
Kuro just saving his whimsy to use onto Faker as soon as he shows up. Really made a large difference in that dive, and again, the lack of damage. But Duke knew that dive was coming, and SKT opted into that. They had the plan on how they were going to fight this immediately. Duke just trying to stall them, knocking Prey up underneath the turret. But look at Faker comes in, knock up immediately into Whimsy. They burn down Duke, and then Faker has nothing left to do besides die as the rest of the Tigers just power on through.
Peanut was so low, man. He was down to like 20 health there. Faker really kind of doing everything he could, but ROX Tigers are just a bit too strong, and the gold lead grows a little bit more.
Still definitely manageable for SKT, and again, in the late game, you get the full the 6-sided blue build Ezreal, and SKT can create so many zones. It will be probably impossible to kill Bang. Like, there's too much slow, too many people getting knocked up by Poppy ults, too many slow zones from the Iceborne Gauntlet and the Trundle Pillar. Like, good luck trying to get an angle onto this Ezreal. He will just be free autoing everybody.
Well, that's the plan. So that's what they want to do, and now the ROX Tigers going for this dragon. Smeb joins from the back of the pit. SK Telecom wants to try to stop this teleport coming in for Duke now. Gorilla with the engage. Immediately Smeb comes from the side. True shot barrage not doing a whole lot. Bang looking for those angles. Prey and Duke fighting it out in the dragon pit. The dragon did go to the Tigers in the end. Bang kills Smeb. SK Telecom found their fight, And Bang, like you talked about, Monty, unopposed. Nobody can stop this guy, and that is going to be maybe an ace if Bang can catch Prey. He's going to try. He's got one more chance. Minions in the way.
Lucky minion wave.
Yep.
Good guy, minion wave. Saving Prey from getting aced right there, and that's the issue. You get bottled up like that, there's no escaping that Dragon Pit against this composition. They can just lock you in there forever. And that's a big bounce back here from SKT, who is going to even things out when it comes to gold in this game after that fight. Yes, the Tigers got their first dragon, but it came at a pretty horrible price. I mean, you see Gorilla coming in here, Smeb trying to take an angle, but look, he's just cut off. He gets down to 50% just from Bang on a Q in the True Shot barrage. And then how do you get back to him at this stage? Smeb can't duel him any longer. Look at Faker's ultimate just keeping everyone from the Tigers in the pit. There's no way to escape. It's just dragon jail for them after that.
Funny enough, when Smeb was engaging on Bang, he accidentally clicked on the Rift Scuttler and killed that and missed out on a chance to auto-attack Bang, so that may have changed the fight.
He may have been attack moving right there.
I think so. I mean, it got them the Rift Scuttler at least.
Well, at least they could watch themselves die.
Yeah, how nice. And, I mean, this is just what happens with SK Telecom. You know, the littlest mistake you can think of, and they will ace you almost.
It's an interesting team composition, to be sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the Protect the Bang comp. Wow, and that's a magical Coco cone down there at the bottom left. Check that out. Wow,
it's hovering in your head.
Whoa, Gorilla going deep, trying to set up a kill for Bangy here, or for Bang rather.
Gorilla real low.
Yeah.
Actually, did not pop his ult right there.
Wow, that's knowing your limits.
Yeah, that's definitely knowing your limits.
Couldn't kill Bangy though. They're really looking for it though. I mean, the pressure in this blue side jungle of SK Telecom's coming from the ROX Tigers is pretty intense right now.
Yeah, Smeb is just going to wait around and see if he can try and get a pick right here.
He can duel pretty much anybody.
Yeah, has the rapid fire cannon now, and Faker's going to go in onto Peanut.
Yeah, that's right, but Lulu with the wild growth should be just fine. Two-shot barrage does not hit anybody. Faker pushed away with Gorilla. Gorilla pops his ultimate. Peanut gets in the middle. Prey coming from the side now. Gorilla thrown in with that Fate's Call, and the ROX Tigers chase away SK Telecom. There's a kill onto Bangy, and it was an intricate fight, but in the end, ROX Tigers come out ahead kill-wise, but they may lose their mid lane turret.
Peanut's going back in, actually. Gonna take some shots here.
That's scary enough to push SKT away, I guess. Wow, Smeb with the split push.
Yep, they had the minion wave prepped in the bottom side already from the earlier pressure from Prey. While Smeb was sitting there waiting for them, SKT to rotate over through their own jungle and try and create a pick. So they actually get a turret out of that in the end too. SK Telecom thought they had the angle to take the mid lane, but Peanut had his smite up, so simply got back into the mid lane, used his smite to take down some of the minions, and now Smeb soaring right back into the top lane to keep on farming.
Yep. I mean, ROX Tigers, despite the misstep around Dragon, are really kind of still forcing SK Telecom to play their game, which is to fight all the time, you know? And ROX Tigers are very good at fighting.
Yeah, and they tried to get the catch out there onto Pina, but he was really not the right target. Very tanky already.
Yep, guess so.
And still has 100% kill contribution for his team.
Bang gets spotted by Smeb there.
But you can really see how well both of these teams set up and play together. When nearly everybody on both teams has, 80 to 100% kill contribution, you're probably pretty good at League of Legends.
Yeah.
Working together, communicating effectively around the plays that you want to make.
I mean, if you compare this game to what we saw in our last series, the team's much more cohesive. Faker goes in and ults himself, trying to save that turret, but gets knocked up right out of it. There's the Whimsy. Faker goes down. A little bit over-aggressive there.
I don't know if they thought that the Tigers would follow up on that, because the True Shot barrage looked like they thought that the Tigers were going to dive, and now here we go.
TP comes in. Smeb wants to make a play, not coming in all the way. They just take out that mid turret, and they may be content with forcing SK Telecom back. No, they're going for the tier 2. Gorilla with the big engage. Headbutt pulverize, more knockups with the wild growth, and they get 2 of SK Telecom. Peanut's not done yet, as Duke casts a flash away now. And SKT just getting out-fought in the mid lane, and that's going to set up a nice amount of vision around Dragon if they want it.
Yeah, no real big ults left right there. We still see Duke had his ult on cooldown, so very easy for them to dive through and continue to collect these kills. There's Smeb on your screen right now as Tigers are starting to pull ahead with this 5K advantage.
Yeah.
Bang is going to have to super hard carry this game if he wants to win. He does have a lot of money right now, actually. He hasn't gone back in a while, and they're going to try and reverse push while they have the opportunity to take out the mid lane turret, but it's not going to work. Callista's going to be there in time.
Well, we've certainly seen Bang put on some pretty incredible hard carry performances in the past, but that was on champions like Lucian. Ezreal does a lot of damage right now, but I feel like it's a little bit tougher maybe.
Well, late game it won't be.
Peanut coming from behind with his ultimate, trying to make a play. Faker on the run with his E. Bengi splits off too. These guys do not want to give SKT a break because here comes Quinn right now. Bengi slowed, and Smeb gets exhausted, but he may still be able to kill the jungler. Nope, has to turn off.
Wow, Wolf had to blow his ult on that too.
Yeah.
So there's another tool unavailable for SK Telecom, and that means that Tigers aren't going to over pursue. They'll simply go right back over to this dragon, and Smeb will catch most of that wave at the top side too with the help from his ultimate. See how fast he is right now with those home guards. Jeez.
This is what Quinn with TP can do, man. I mean, if you can't TP there, you can get there really fast with just your regular mobility from the ultimate. And ROX Tigers, I mean, the way they play the game right now is so fun to watch because they just, it's like watching the Mad Max Fury Road version of League of Legends right now, where you just don't get a break to breathe, man. It's like non-stop action the entire time.
Yeah, they're just constantly in your face and have a lot of confidence in their team fighting abilities, and it really does pay off. And they're so well coordinated when it comes to grouping.
Yeah. Now Gorilla on his own. Faker's going to come in, and they may be able to get Gorilla here. He uses his ultimate, gets back just in time. I suppose Prey had that Fate's Call in case he needed to yank Gorilla to safety. But SK Telecom certainly reeling a little bit from this early game. Down by 5,000 gold, only half the kills of the ROX Tigers, and 5 turrets to 2. I mean, the Tigers are ahead in every single category right now.
Duke is doing a good job, though, of making sure that they constantly have to respond to his pressure. That's the second time that Smeb has had to recall to try and clean up some of this farm, and Duke is playing with the TP advantage, so every time he can force Smeb to be in one location, it gives more opportunities for SKT to make a play somewhere else.
It's true. Well, Duke doing what he can. SK Telecom could still theoretically come back. It is SK Telecom, but
this is the reason why we've seen Smeb's Quinn banned in all of the recent Tigers games. Everybody saw the in the first week. It was like, no, I don't want to play against that. And why would you? Just such a pain in the ass to deal with, especially when you have somebody who knows exactly where they need to be, like Smeb does.
Well, all right, no ult then.
It was a
low cooldown
style ult.
That's right. He just wanted to proclaim how strong he was. He's like, ah. Actually, he was just worried about getting ganked, so he wanted to get ready to knock people away. Pressure continues, and now the Baron pressure begins for the ROX Tigers. We can see Prey on the minimap clearing out some of those wards. Gorilla moving ahead too. Wow, Bang flashes Gorilla. Gorilla tried to flash for the engage too. Bang saw that one coming.
That's huge though. Getting Ezreal's flash down is really important.
Well, I think
for the Tigers.
They notice he just uses Arcane Shift.
Here we go.
They're going to try to fight this. Faker coming from the side. Nice big W to lock people up. Faker not using his ult quite yet. Flashing. There's the ult on the Prey, and SK Telecom. This is the fight they wanted. Can they win it? ROX Tigers backing away as much as they possibly can. Bang over the wall, doing a lot, but he's kind of on his own. Needs to be careful. Bang gets a kill though. Bang goes down with no flash. That limited mobility really cost him, and Faker doesn't want to go in on his own. And now they caught Bengi. The Tigers turning this fight yet again.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where Duke and Smeb were there as part of this fight, but Duke ended up using his ultimate again. I think Smeb just engaged him on the side to stop him from using his teleport, and then Smeb was much faster to get into the mid lane with the help of his ultimate. And it looked like a good engage, but Bang goes over the wall and loses the duel to Prey. And everyone was so low on the Tigers, it was almost a great cleanup performance from SK Telecom, but they fell just a little bit short.
And now the Tigers going immediately for this Baron. A little bit risky though. Faker comes in, they know that they've been spotted. SK Telecom returning. Duke has his TP. He can come if he wants to. Looks like they're just going to give him this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
No contest there.
Can't stop it.
Not enough people anywhere close to do that, and SK Telecom cannot fight without Bang. This composition is so Bang reliant.
Yeah. And again, until Bang has that flash up again, he's gonna have a lot of risks to deal with in team fights.
Now, how do they stop this Quinn split push with the Baron buff?
Well, that's really the question, right? Because I mean, maybe Bang could like outmaneuver him, but I don't know.
Smeb is
It's
going to
gonna
get
be tough.
a ton of free autos. Look how much damage he has right now.
Yeah.
Steric's Gauge in addition to moving into an Infinity Edge at the moment. So no one can really deal with Smeb.
It's really incredible watching these guys play right now.
Well, they started off super hot at the beginning of 2015 too when they formed as a new team, went on a huge winning streak.
It's true, went undefeated in the regular season last spring. All right, SKT deciding if they want to engage, getting poked really hard though, losing that inhibitor turret. Peanut over the wall, he doesn't care. And this inhibitor in a lot of trouble. SK Telecom may just need to give this one up. They will. Man, there's just no stopping the ROX Tigers right now with that Baron buff.
A very dominant move into the enemy base, and we talked about it, but Tigers games averaging 31 minutes so far. It's going to take a little bit longer to close out against SKT.
Well, that's fast.
I like fast Quinn. I think you have to ban Quinn. Smeb is just too good at it at this stage.
It seems that way.
And it's not only Smeb, it's the way that his team plays around the Quinn mobility to know exactly how long it's going to take for Smeb to get there, and he just shows up faster, and that they have a 5 versus 4 power play effectively, and the Quinn will just pick somebody off in the back line instantaneously. That's nice, just get some whimsy too, why not?
Yeah, sure. Quinn wasn't fast enough before, I felt. SK Telecom going to try to defend their bottom lane now. And Peanut pushing through the mid lane too. Dragon's up, they could just back off and take that too. Really, the Rift is their oyster right now. A delicious, delicious oyster.
We had some oysters yesterday.
We did, and they were delicious too.
They were great.
Yeah.
Lots of oysters here in the winter in Korea.
Happy birthday to Poppy Smith. It was his birthday yesterday.
You can get like a dozen oysters for $5.
I know.
It's amazing.
I'd have to do that again. Moving over to the mid lane is ROX Tiger.
Have some oyster times together.
Let's just bring some to the studio. Just eat them, you know. If you hear like on the cast once in a while, it's just an oyster, don't worry about it. And SK Telecom, what can they do against this pressure? Not a lot. Wolf gets knocked up. Turret will go down. SK Telecom just back away. Look, they caught Wolf already, taking so much damage. Duke loading up that ultimate, not getting a chance to fire it off though, and that's another inhibitor taken by the ROX Tigers. They have really made this Baron count.
And see how much more they can get.
Oh, here we go. Duke coming in, but he's so low already. Kuro on the outside of the fight, really doing a good job protecting his teammates. Gorilla pulled in with the Fate's Call, and just a casual disengage by the ROX Tigers. They're like, yeah, 2 inhibitors is enough, I guess.
Well, it looked like that SKT might actually be able to pick up a kill based off of Duke's engage with the heroic charge into the wall, but just no follow-up, and they leave Gorilla behind knowing that they can just Fates Call him out whenever they want, and he kind of provides the buffer there.
Pretty much.
Needed to exit the base in what could have been a bit of an over-eager dive, but instead ends up just fine.
That is Dragon number 3 for the ROX Tigers.
There's like no chance they can kill Prey anymore either. He's got
Guess not.
QSS and Bloodthirster. So who is Faker going to ult here? He can't ult Kuro with the cleanse. He can't ult Prey now. He can't ult Alistair.
SK Telecom.
He can't ult Smeb because Smeb has a QSS. Like, there's nothing they can do to shut them down with Lysandra. They still have enough zones. They do have a couple Iceborns. They have the Trundle Pillar, but unfortunately, they've just fallen too far behind at this stage to really make a teamfight comeback with Bang.
I mean, SKT, they really just kind of need to hope that somebody on the ROX Tigers gets horribly out of position randomly. That doesn't look likely to happen anytime soon.
Peanut just slowly moving these minions towards the Nexus so they can take the final inhibitor turret, and Smeb here
Oh, hi.
threatening the flank.
Welcome to the base. And they're going after the turret. Hanging out for just a moment until the next minion wave shows up. No Baron right now, so it takes a bit longer. Duke getting really poked from the side there. Peanut could flank. They're going to try to go after Smeb. That's a lot of damage.
So much damage.
Big knockup coming in. Gorilla ult gets pulled with the Fate's Call. Look at all the knockups. Man, SK Telecom just getting juggled by the ROX Tigers. Gorilla pushes Bang away. Smeb looking for an angle to come back in on this fight. It's a brawl right now, but SKT just low enough that the ROX Tigers are going to be able to finish them. And Bang needs a miracle right now to keep his team in the game. They're going to lose their third inhibitor either way. Smeb comes in just to push Bang back, but yeah, you might not be able to kill Bang, but that doesn't mean Bang can kill you.
Yeah, Bang actually did an immense amount of damage in that fight.
Oh, Smeb getting caught. Can get taken down eventually here. They will get him. Smeb got the kill onto Bengi before he died, though. Prey a little bit low. Peanut caught. They may have overstayed their welcome. Big time Faker trying to chase Kuro. Pushes him out of the base, and Peanut on his way out too, but one of the Nexus turrets already dead for SK Telecom.
But they can't quite finish the game. Yeah,
Not
1
yet.
minute until Baron. SKT mounts a defense. They get one of their inhibitors back up, and the next one will be shortly following thereafter. So they held for now, but will they be able to actually take this Baron fight at all is going to be the question, with only one Nexus turret remaining.
It's going to be crazy, man. Baron up in 30 seconds, plenty of time for both teams to get situated. Whatever you say, Korean Trundle. Some wards down. It's, SKT has done I mean, they've kept themselves in the game. You know, they've created an Ezreal that can, in theory, do a lot. We'll see. The apocalyptic fight is coming if it hasn't happened already.
Yeah, Faker coming out of the base right now does have
Baron.
TP up. 2 TPs for SKT.
Yep, SK Telecom trying to find an angle onto this. Faker used his teleport to get there. Duke still hasn't needed to use his. And they're going to go right back onto the Baron. They want to take it. SK Telecom, it's do or die time. They need to stop this from happening. Pillar goes down. Baron still plenty of health left. ROX Tigers are not going to be able to get it this time around.
Yeah, Poppy still on the defense too, is able to slowly deal with these super minion waves.
Yep.
Trying to dance, but that poke from Ezreal is incredibly dangerous.
Now Smeb going up to push a wave. He can rejoin the fight whenever he wants. They're not giving up on this Baron yet. Faker waiting.
You can see how much respect they're giving Bang right now.
Oh, yeah.
37 minutes into this game, this guy is nuts.
Oh, Duke went back. And it's a 4v5 right now. Gorilla very low. Smeb looking for a way to come from the side, but again, Bang's such a big threat. It's not stopping them from going onto this Baron, though. Oh, here we go, coming in. Smeb does some damage. He's all over Bengi. Meanwhile, the counter engage. Faker comes in and ults himself. Duke getting into the back lines too. Kuro still okay. Bengi, wow, Bang managed to take out Smeb.
Bang!
He's coming back into this fight. He could win it for SKT. And now Bang and the rest of SK Telecom.
Holy cow!
Triple kill for Bang. Quadra kill. Bang with the Quadra, and SK Telecom, they find a way, man.
And that's why you can't count out this composition. Late game, Bang has so much peel, and he does such an insane amount of damage that if Smeb gets caught alone on the side like that, Bang can just take him out, and they're going to get their second inhibitor back up in the bottom side and get themselves temporarily a new lease on life. Now, the Tigers could be going for Dragon number 4 here in a few minutes, and it's still unlikely that SKT can come back, but man, are they playing well from behind.
I mean, we saw exactly the fight that SKT was looking for. Faker got in, ulted himself. We're probably going to replay, but basically everybody got just low enough that Bang could come in and handle him. And Bang can 1v1 Smeb now, and if you don't have Smeb to worry about coming from the side, then ROX Tigers suddenly find themselves in a tough part. Let's check out that team fight again.
Yeah, and they did the initial damage, right? They got the poke down with the Ezreal. It's all looking good for them. Now Smeb uses his Yomus, tries to get onto Bengi, but Bang immediately retreats and then re-engages with Bengi and the help of the Cocoon. Even though Smeb has QSS, he loses just a couple of seconds. And look how well the front line is peeling right now for SKT. Sure, Faker goes down, but he buys so much time with the Zonias, and we're seeing another fight in the mid lane, actually.
That's right, a little bit of an engagement. Faker tries to chase Gorilla down. Gorilla counter-engage, Prey over the wall with a lot of damage. That's some knockups. Poppy knocks Gorilla way across the map.
Bang's
but that's
going
a kill
crazy
for Bang already. Smeb trying to find an angle onto Bang again, who hits him with that cocoon. ROX Tigers not going to give up just yet as SKT disengages.
Okay, so Tigers will get Dragon number 4, even though Peanut died, which is pretty huge for them because now, of course, they're going to be on the cusp of number 5 for the rest of the game.
I mean, Faker didn't have his ult there. Duke had used his, so they just really couldn't push that fight any farther without risking, you know, Bang being a little bit more unprotected, I guess.
Yeah, they're trying to push up now. They didn't immediately try and transition into the Baron, of course, with their jungler dead. They're trying to get what they can, but SKT probably prevented the Baron from going down by killing Peanut.
Yeah, I think so. Bang is 8-1-5 on this Ezreal.
Yeah, 100% kill contribution for his team.
Yep.
But this is what you expect when you build a composition like this. Your Ezreal has to show up.
Yeah. Bang is one of those rare AD carries that can carry so hard from really any sort of deficit.
Well, you see that pretty much this entire season so far, SKT has been putting a lot of faith in Bang. They've been building a huge number of their compositions around his play.
True shot barrage, tickling Gorilla just a bit. Has his ult back now. So ROX Tigers has that going for them. USS almost up for Smeb. And once that happens, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable fighting. They may need to give up this mid turret though.
Yeah, you see Smeb, he's starting to prep these side waves to try and put some pressure down with the minions. Here comes a Rek'Sai ult and a TP.
Gorilla really low. Smeb is so fast. Peanut coming from behind. Gorilla gets thrown in, but it's a bit of a disjointed engage for the ROX Tigers. Faker gonna Zonia's himself. That's a kill coming in already for Bang. Smeb just really trying to find a way. Bangy gets taken out now. It's 4v4, double kill for Bang. And here we go. Duke comes back in onto Smeb, and Bang again, untouched. He is carrying. There's the triple kill. Gets low. There's the quadra. Will he get the penta? No! He gets denied by Duke, but it's still the ace for SKT. And that may just be the game.
And they tried to get the engage on the mid lane with the flank from the side, but Bengi was there again to deal with Smeb on the outside, and these death timers are too long, and what an incredible comeback from SK Telecom.
All three
Bang
inhibitors.
Just ridiculously carrying this game with the help of his team, but they played to their win conditions, and he nearly gets a penta, 2 quadras on this blue build Ezreal, and a 100% kill contribution rate.
That is amazing. I mean, Gorilla going crazy, trying to make this one happen. He's tanky, but he's not enough to stop them from killing the Nexus right now. Bang getting a little bit low, but if everyone focuses the Nexus, they might be okay, and they will. What a comeback. 3 inhibitors down, and jeez, and SKT wins the game. That is an MVP performance by Bang, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. And we've seen performances from this by Bang before.
Yep, well, I mean, when they fell back, we said it, right? I mean, if anyone can carry them out of this, it's going to be Bang.
Yeah, and they tried to get onto Bang in this last team fight. We're watching it again on our monitors right now, but Bengi really did a good job of just continuously erasing Smeb from these team fights and keeping Bang safe. Faker too, great ultimate in that last engagement. Wolf just standing right next to Bang that entire time. Just everyone peeling. Great team fighting from both teams in this game. What a great game of League of Legends.